Welcome back to another edition of the Night Report podcast. I'm your host, Mike Broadbent. Joining me once again are my co-hosts, Richie O'Leary and Alec Krauthamel. This is episode 2 of the commitment bonanza from this past weekend. This time we'll be talking about the quarterback commit from the class. We kind of primed you guys last week that this is probably going to happen, but he committed over the weekend on his official visit. Xavier Stearn, the 6'5", 215-pound quarterback out of Germantown Academy in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, has made it official with the Scarlet Knights. He will be the quarterback commitment for the class of 2026. He's a 5.5 three-star prospect. He committed to Rutgers over, I think UConn was his other official visit that he had lined up, but a lot of interest from Power Fives, or Power Fours rather. He has basically every quarterback record at his high school. You guys both saw him in person throwing. Rich, what went into Xavier Stearn's commitment to Rutgers?
He basically he loved the idea of playing for Rutgers. It's not too far from home. It's Power Four football at the end of the day. I think it's as simple as that. He built a really good relationship with Kirk Shiraka too. Now he might have just got the offer recently, but Kirk's known about him for a while. He actually camped at Rutgers last summer. So they are pretty familiar with him. And usually when you're on these camp visits, it's either like, okay, you're just a camper and you're just there to do the camp, and that's basically it. Staff's got their little evaluation on you, and then we'll see you whenever we see you. But for his example, he actually took a visit with the staff afterwards, checked out the campus, the facilities, all that other good stuff. And when they do that, that means you're probably more of a serious target. And that's basically what happened. He got to check out everything. He was just really fond of Rutgers, always liked Rutgers from afar. Kirk always stayed in touch throughout the past year. Even though they had Gavin Sidwar committed at one point, they were still in touch with him. It was just a matter of once Rutgers offered, it was kind of that just sealed the deal, and he was all in on the Scarlet Knights.
And Alec, based on what you saw at the Under Armour camp, what is Rutgers getting in Xavier Stearn?
So he's got really good measurables. He's 6'5", 215. He's actually taller than both of Rutgers' main quarterbacks this year. Ethan Kaliakmanis is, I think, 6'3". AJ Surratt 6'2". So he's got the size. He has a pretty solid arm as well. He can really throw the deep ball. You see that on his highlights, and we also saw that at the camp. He's not really that mobile. So he's not going to be like, obviously Gavin Williams, it's a complete other, opposite end of that extreme. But even like an Ethan Kaliakmanis, where he's able to, like we saw in the Illinois game, where he kind of saved the drive in those last couple minutes with his legs. He's not really going to be that kind of quarterback. But he has a solid arm. He's got really good measurables. He's kind of got a lot of the physical tools that you want. Like I said, the size as well. It's just a matter of, how does he develop as a quarterback, with his arm, with his size. He didn't have the best day, I don't think, at the Under Armour camp, but also part of that was also because the receivers that he had, they weren't catching some of the better balls that he threw. We did see some of the deep ball in action, and it actually looked pretty good coming off his arm. I know Richie got a lot of closer reps because Richie doesn't like to follow the rules and was on the field. But yeah, it was pretty impressed with what I saw, at least in terms of the deep ball. I guess one of the questions is like how he's going to, process in the mental game and all that. And you're going to have a lot of those questions as a younger quarterback anyways. Like AJ Surratt, that's one of his strengths, but also he comes from, a coach's son background, things like that. So that's already going to be one of his strengths. But that's a thing that you kind of have to deal with a lot of young quarterbacks. And I feel like the drills that we saw at the camp weren't really conducive to seeing how well he does with that, because it was only a one read thing, a one-on-one. So we'll have to wait and see how that works out. But definitely like this ad, especially considering, you miss out on or you get Sidwar and then he decommits. He ends up at Missouri. This is a pretty solid pivot, I would say, from a similar area in Philly. So I know, Rich, you've talked to some people who cover that area pretty extensively. They really like him as well. So I think this is a solid quarterback get. And I would imagine this is the only one that they have in the cycle. So and with Kirk Shiraka, once he mostly deals with the quarterback recruiting. So once he sees one that he likes, he goes after it, and now they got him.
Yeah, just to go into some of his stats from last year, he was 149 for 241 on passing. That was almost 62%, 61.8 for 2,290 yards, 31 touchdowns, and just 3 interceptions in 9 games. Rich, you got a little bit closer review of Xavier Stearn at the UA camp, as Alec alluded to. What were your thoughts on him that you saw in person?
I think he has the tools to be a pretty good quarterback. He does the right things. He's got a good mechanics, good throwing motion. He has a good deep ball. He has actually a pretty good touch on the deep ball. Now, there's just a couple passes where I'm just like, all right, dude, you threw that way too late. The minute you throw that, like I could tell that's either going to be picked or that's going to be a PBU. It's just not going to happen. I think there's just a couple scenarios with it like that. But it's so weird, too, because like, I don't know if we said this on the pod or off the pod. Either way, I think Alec actually said it. It's such a disadvantage to quarterbacks in these one-on-one things in the camps because you don't really get to see if they can make reads or not. That being said, you look at his stats. He lit up his entire conference league, whatever you want to call it, single season passing touchdown leader of all time in his conference. It's also set the school record for single season passing touchdowns and single season passing yards. I think he's a really good quarterback. He has a lot of skills. I want to go to see if I can find some more of his 7-on-7 tape because he does play for that level 82 7-on-7, which has like guys like Chris Hewitt and some other notables. Gavin Sidler's on that team as well.
I think Desir Carter's on that team too.
Desir Carter. So there's a bunch of dudes on that team. Torrey Smith coaches them. I did think it was kind of cool too to see like I don't know if you guys saw this. One of his quote tweets on his commitment today was Chad Henne, fellow Pennsylvania native.
Oh, that's cool.
What was he, a 10-year NFL vet or something like that?
At least that, yeah.
Yeah, if not more. So that was pretty neat. He's also been working with Tony Rasiopi, and when he works with Tony Rasiopi is where he built a bond with AJ Surace. So that also kind of played a little bit of a factor. AJ was also his player host, I found out, and you can read more about that article all on the site and all that. I think it should be out by now. If it's not, I'm sorry, it'll be out tomorrow.
I know he's definitely not like the best athlete, but he does have a lot of throws on tape where he's throwing on the move and he's got some designed rollouts and he's pretty accurate while on the move. And he does show the ability to navigate the pocket well, to avoid pressure. So while he's not like going to be, breaking out some big runs, I don't think he's a total statue. Like I'm not comparing him to this player. I just want to put that out there. But like a guy like Tom Brady, you would never call him the best athlete, but he had elite pocket awareness and pocket mobility. Like he just kind of knew how to move through the pocket. And again, not comparing the two. So I want to just put it out there that you don't have to be the best athlete to be a good quarterback and have good functional mobility. And I see good functional mobility on his tape. That's all.
You mean Rutgers has the next Tom Brady is what you're saying?
That's what I'm hearing.
You guys,
right?
Shoot it out there. That's going to be the first comment. Someone's going to be like, you can't compare him to Tom Brady. Or somebody's going to be like, oh, got the new Tom Brady. Like, there's just no way to just speak on it.
I see what your point is, though, where you're talking about, like you said, Brady's not going to spring off a 20-yard run, but he has the ability to navigate and move up in the pocket or move back in the pocket or something like that to get out of harm's way. He's not just going to, stand there for like 5 seconds straight and take a hit.
Or
exactly.
5 to 6 years from now, we're saying, "Hey, holy shit, Mike was right."
Oh, no,
you're gonna go viral on the NFL draft when he's the number one overall pick.
Broadbent, I don't know who he is, but he knew before anyone.
Mike Broadbent is replacing Howie Roseman as the Eagles GM.
I mean, I'll take that.
God.
All right, we're going off the rails. Anything else on the new quarterback commit, Xavier Stearn?
I got a nice little tidbit that I don't even think I told you guys yet. So he's been to Wisconsin a couple times. And this was when Phil Longo was there. Phil Longo loved him, apparently. He won QB MVP at their camp last summer, their passing academy camp that they have every year. And this was obviously before Phil Longo got let go. But he was at Wisconsin 2 or 3 times. I know Phil Longo wanted to offer him from what I was told. And Wisconsin had someone else committed at the moment. So they're like, we already have our quarterback, so we really don't need a second one. But I think Phil Longo's a genius when it comes to offenses and when it comes to quarterback play. So I feel like if Phil Longo wants someone, I want that guy. So it's an interesting little tidbit, something to note. I know Wisconsin never did offer. They did have I forget the kid's name. I think it was Jaron something. And Rutgers actually showed interest in that kid too at one point. But I mean, it's always good to note when an offensive mind like his wants a quarterback, that's got to be a pretty decent quarterback. So
do you know if Sam Houston State offered him? Because he's now the head coach there.
Yeah, I don't think I'm looking now. No, they didn't. No. They might have got someone else by now, but I mean, who knows? But I know Phil Longo liked him, so it's something to note.
Love to hear that. Well, that'll do it for Xavier Stearn. On the next pod, you get to hear about the Tyrell Simpson commitment. So stick in the podcast feed. We'll have that one right up for you next year. Stick around.